Right. So I think a lot of us in general have ideas about love and what's meaningful in terms of like what to show them that you really love them. And I think I was surprised to see so many guys there, because I think a lot of guys think like, oh, if I wrote a little note or something to somebody who I care about, it might be like way too mushy or too sentimental. And so all these guys were at this workshop, which basically they were showing you how to begin writing a love letter with you can begin in the most simple way, just like with a memory, like something like, I remember meeting you, or I remember having this moment with you.
So your class was a workshop on how to write a love letter.
Right. And basically the gist behind it is you can go out and you can get a box of chocolates, lingerie, DVD, all great. But if you really want to give someone a really unique, one-of-a-kind, intimate gift, writing a love letter, there's not going to be any other gift like that around. This is coming from you. It's really one of a kind.
So how does a man learn? I think it's great. How does a man learn how to write a love letter? Give me the tips that you learned last night.
So, well, there are certain qualities of writing a love letter, right? Like honest, authentic, genuine. This isn't a time or place to like bring up any resentments or disappointments or any point you want to make. But then I was really impressed by it can be really challenging to like start, writing something so personal. So I loved their point about just think of one memory. What's one thing, like that one experience you might have had with this person, that you remember? And I just want to also add this point, like if you don't, have like a boyfriend, girlfriend, somebody you're dating in your life, they were and the love letter doesn't have to be for someone of the opposite sex who might be in your life. You can write a love letter to your child. You can even write a love letter to yourself, kind of standing from the outside, and a friend.
That's a good idea. That's a pretty good idea. Dear me. That's a good one. I like that. I'm kidding.
So I want you to like, don't say it out loud, but like think in your own head, RJ, like who's someone who you might write a love letter to? Just imagine that person.
Got it. Okay.
And like some other good ways just to like jot down notes if you're trying to think about what you might want to say, but even thinking about something like a physical attribute, something you really like physically about this person. How about something like that, you're by something that this person does, that you're kind of in awe about, and you could like just jot down little notes, and then before you know it, you have the whole outline.
That sounds pretty interesting. So if I can repeat what I just heard, is the art of the love letter is to bring in a memory, a compliment of something you admire, kind of like surrendering your feelings to that person and letting them know that this is something that you're thinking about them, whether it's a memory or an attribute.
Or even saying thank you, like gratitude.
Or even
why you appreciate.
Gratitude.
Uh-huh.
Wow, and you had a lot of guys there at the class. Interesting.
Yeah, and they were taking notes, and a couple of guys, it was really sweet. They were really concerned about their handwriting. So they said, I don't know if she'll be able to read this. And they showed their handwriting to the workshop. Your handwriting is just fine.
So don't type this out on a computer. Is what you're saying.
Yeah, that was the other really interesting thing, because there's something about handwriting. I mean, when's the last time you received a letter in handwriting? There's something really special about it, that reading someone's handwriting. And they also said, remember, this doesn't have to be a 10-page letter. That could be quite overwhelming to get like a 10-page folded up. Just keep it really short and simple.
Perfect. It's a great idea. It doesn't cost a lot of money to write a letter. It's the value of the thoughts, the handwriting, the moment, the compliment, the memory. I think I got that, Rach. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.